How's it going, guys? This is Words, and you might have seen so many videos on YouTube about how to get rich and how to get a lot of XPs, and you're trying to find out how to do this yourself. So today's video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. And if you decide at the end of the video that you want to get rich and get a lot of XP, you can do so. But I'm just going to teach you the basics so you can expand your wings and become rich and OP at the same time. Now, first thing first, I am currently standing in front of my ship so you can see the location. The first thing you need, this is a list of everything you'll need to get started. So take a screenshot of the list, and then we're gonna go to the best place for you to get these items. So as you can see, I'm right here again by the ship specialist, guys. So we're gonna go there. All right, so you're gonna come to this place right here that is called Jamison Mercantile. So you're gonna come in here and you're gonna talk to this nice lady. And then with your list in hand, you're gonna say you wanna see what she has for sale. And then you wanna go to resources. So here, this is where you're gonna pick up everything that you need, and then once you get everything that you need, and you back out. Now, she might not have everything, but all you gotta do is just reset the vendor. Now, to reset the vendor and do this over and over, all you gotta do is just go outside. And then you just sit on the bench. And then you're gonna wait for however many hours, 24 local hours. So we're gonna cancel this, we're not gonna do this. And then you're gonna rinse and repeat until you get everything you need or as much as you want. Now, here is the reason why that we see this vendor as the best to do this. It's because you can just do this. So I'm just gonna go to my ship, and then I'm gonna go to cargo hold. And then I'm gonna switch to my inventory. And then from there, I'm gonna just dump all the resources that I have here into my ship. That's because the proximity of the ship with this vendor is within the limit that you can use your ship to actually dump stuff. Now, before we start flying, you need to know this. So make sure you have a research lab, and then you make use of that research lab. Because without the research lab, you may not be able to do the stuff that you need to do to craft everything that you need. So if I go to my skills right here, just make sure you invest some points into science category. So mainly you want the research method. So this should be the first thing that you do. And then you also make sure that you put some points into scanning. And then eventually, once you get enough points on top, like 4 points or something like that, then you need to put some points into outpost engineering. Investing points into those skills is gonna make your outpost business go a lot better. And then eventually, you're gonna make sure that you go to the social tab. And then once you unlock a lot of the skills, then you put some point into outpost management. That allows you to have better and more stuff to actually make your outpost the empire that you need it to be. All right, now that we get all this out of the way, it's time for us to start flying. So we go to the menu, and we're gonna go to the star map, and then we are trying to go to this system that is called the star map. So this is all those little system that you have been or have not been before, but we wanna go to Narion. And then Narion, the reason why we're doing this is because this is one of the best planet that can give you a lot of resources in the same place. Now, this is not the only system you can go to do this, but this is the one that I have been using since the game started. So that's the reason that we are trying to use this one. And then once you get there, you're trying to go to this area right here. It's called Androphon. So let me zoom real quick, and then so we can click on it. You can already see I have a bunch of outposts there, and then the one that we're going to use for this tutorial is already there. It's this one right here. But before we go over there, so I'm going to show you something real quick. The reason why you put points in scanning, once you scan the planet, and I'm going to show you the best way to actually get all those resources in the same place that you want. So I'm going to zoom in the map real quick. I'm gonna zoom into the point where you can see the pixelated map. So what I'm trying to do here, trying to find a location that have both iron and then aluminum, but in the process you might have some of the other resources there too. Now you can see that we have iron on this side, we have aluminum on this side, and we also have beryllium on that side, and as well as some of those helium-3. But what we're looking for is the iron and then the aluminum. So we're gonna just try to land in the area where we can just get all those resources together. So if you do it the right way, then you should be good. Don't land on the mountain, and it's probably not a good idea, but if you look for it real quick, then you can just do it. It's probably better if you, when you click on it, if it say crater, it's probably a better idea. But having said all of that, so I'm just gonna go to the area that I've already used. Now once you land on the area that you want to, all you got to do on Xbox, just press the left bumper, and then that was going to pull up the scan, and then also press the X button. Now the way you do this, just move the beacon around, and then it will show you on the screen what kind of resources you have in the area. So once you find the resources that you need in the location that you need, you just confirm it with the A button, and then you just go there and find it. But now for this reason, now because it is quite difficult to actually get the area to have both resources or multiple resources at the same time, so it might take you a little bit of time to get it, but it should take you like 5-10 minutes, or if not even less. It all depends on where your ship actually land. All right, now that you settle on your location, on your beacon, all that stuff, the next thing I would ask you to do is just rename your outpost. All you got to do is just get close to it, and then you have the option to rename it, and just give it a name that you want, something distinctive, as you know, iron, aluminum, or beryllium, whatever is gonna make it distinctive when you are in the airspace and you want to go just click on it. Otherwise it would say outpost 1, outpost 2, or whatever. All right, so now that we get that out of the way, so let's start building. So next thing you do, just press the left bumper on your Xbox controller, and then press the X button, and then it will bring the build menu. So as you can see on the bottom of the screen, you have where it says B for modify build. So now you can just cycle through the left bumper, right bumper, and then you can see all the options available to you. So the first one that you're gonna go into is gonna be the extractors. So as you can see, I highlight aluminum, and then so once I highlight aluminum, the best thing you need to do, just click on the view menu, and then it'll put you on the top view. So now use your right stick, or the right analog stick, and then so you can just go zoom in and out. So up is going zoom in, and then down it's just going zoom out, so you have a better view of your area. So the area that is highlighted is aluminum, because as you can see, if I click on beryllium, then it's gonna highlight under the area, and I click on iron, it's gonna highlight under the area. So I have all three in the same location. So now once you just highlight the one you want, and then you can start putting your extractors. Now you can see if it's highlighted in white, that means this is a place that you can put it, but if it start highlighting on red, that means you can put it there. So I already got 3 just to make things go faster, so we're gonna stay with that. So let's go to beryllium. So do the same thing, you're gonna just put a few extractors down. So I already put a few down, so we're not gonna worry about that. And then we're gonna go to iron, and I already start the process with the iron. So now that you put your extractors down, you put as many as you want to start operation, and then now it's time to power them up. So we go back to the build menu again, and then we're just gonna go to the next tab, and you get the powers, and then you can use the solar array power. This is the most popular one. Just put however many that is required. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, it says it needed 35 power, but I put more, so that way when I add more stuff, then they can start working right away, so I don't have to worry about it. So that's the reason why I put more than what is required. So now that you put power, the next thing you need to do, you can start building your container. But for this tutorial, what I'm going to do, because of the location that we are now, when you are in the build menu, you can build things in any which way that you want. But for this process of the tutorial, I am going to build the ship landing. So it's all the way to the miscellaneous tab. And then I'm going to go here. As long as you buy all the items that I told you, then you should be good to go. So now I'm going to try to find a way to actually put my landing pad. If it's highlighted in white, like I said before, then it's good to go. So I'm just going to put it there. Then I am going to go and then start doing other things. So let's go out of this. To go out of this, just press and hold your B button and you get out of the build menu. So now we're just gonna go and see our landing pad. Now you don't have to do this right away, but I suggest you do this because when you land, the ship can be all the way over there, and you cannot just use your ship if you want to. And then if you just encumber it, it's gonna be a pain. That's the reason why it's a good idea to actually build your landing pad as soon as you can, and that way you can use it if you want to modify your ship, or if you want to just land your ship. That way you can get the resources out of your ship. It's going to make things a lot easier. Now, having said all of that, let's go and continue the process to actually start building stuff. So now we already have enough power. We already have all the extractors. So it's time to start building containers for all the extractors. Now for this tutorial, I'm just going to build just a couple bins. So let's go to the ship menu again. Now for this tutorial, I'm gonna build minimum containers. That way we don't have to waste a lot of time. Let's go to the build menu again, left bumper X, and then just press the corresponding button. So we're just gonna go and we're gonna just do the container. So it's a lot better to actually put stuff in the top view. So I'm just gonna build one container for this one. Now because we are using solid materials, then we have to use solid storage. Now the reason why this is important is because you also have helium. Helium is gas. So if you have to build a container for helium, you cannot put it in the same thing. Whereas if I want to put all the resources in just the same containers, I can. It will just be all of them solid because those three are all solid. So I'm just going to build a solid one right here. Now you can rotate them. Rotate one or two, depends on how many resources you have available, but you can build the resources to actually make it work. So I'm just gonna build just this one. Like I say, if it's white, then you're good to go. But I'm gonna show you something that you can make work. Like if you're building more than one, just press the left trigger, it'll move it to the left or right if that's what you want to do. And then if you do it again, it'll go on top. Or if you use the right trigger, and then it'll go. So you use the left and right trigger to actually move these things around. Or you can just use your analog sticks to actually try to move them, but sometimes they're kind of finicky. But it's just showing you a little trick real quick. So I'm gonna build, let's say I'm gonna build 3 so I can show you something that works very good. So I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to put, this one cannot go here. So I'm going to put this one right here. So that way, and when I show you how to link stuff, you're going to be good to go. So now we have the one for aluminum. We got containers for aluminum. We also have a container for iron. I already did the one for iron. I showed you earlier. We already had the container for iron. Now we just want to do containers for the beryllium. Now, like I said, once you highlight the extractor, it's going to show you where the thing is. All you got to do is just move around and you can see. So we already got all the extractors here. So we're just going to put some containers somewhere here. So just go to the tab for the containers. And then, like I said, they are solid. So you're going to put this here. And so now that's it. So we're only going to use one. Now, the next thing that we want to do, we want to build a transfer container. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is important. The reason why this is important, that way you can pick up the resources from your ship. You don't have to come down with the fabricator or that kind of stuff. So we're going to build this right here. So I'm going to put it right here. It doesn't matter where you put it. As long as you put it where you want, then you should be good to go. So now we got the transfer container. Now, this is the step that we are going to link everything together. Now, the first thing I am going to teach you is this one right here. They already linked, so I'm gonna go to the one that's not already linked, so I can teach you the process of how this works. So now I'm going to show you how to link the containers together with the extractors. Now, the best way that I know how to do this, that works the best for me and make things less confusing, is to start with one container. So I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna say this one is the incoming container, this one that's going to receive everything. So I'm going to go to the build menu, and then we're going to press the X, and then now it's highlighted. So when it's highlighted, you get the option to create an output link. So just press the corresponding button. In this case, it's this one. Then you will have a line that's coming out of it. So I wanted to link it to this one. So all I got to do, this one is highlight. I linked it, and I can just create another link for this one. And then I'm just gonna just put it on that one. So now they are all linked together. So as you can see, if you click on it and then it's highlighted, then it's linked. Next, we are going to connect the extractors to the containers. So I'm gonna get this first extractor. I'm gonna say create link, and I'm just gonna have the link, and then I'm just gonna put it in the first one. All right, that's one, because it's gonna give the other ones already linked, and I'm gonna do the same thing for this one, highlight it and create the link. I'm gonna make all of them come to the first one, and then I'm gonna get the other one. So it's probably a lot easier to do it in the top view menu, so you can link all of them the easiest way. So I'm just gonna create a link for this one, and then I'm just gonna put it on that one. So all three of those are linked in the first incoming container. The one on top, I call it the outgoing container, and you will see why in a minute. Now, I already linked the one for the iron, so we're just gonna link the one for the beryllium last. So just create the output link, and then just put it in there, since there's only one container, so we are good to go. Now, the next thing we're gonna do, we are going to link all the outgoing containers to the transfer containers. All right, so for this one, the one that I call the outgoing container is the one on top. So I'm just gonna create the link, and then I'm gonna put it here. Say yes. So now it's already linked. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. This one on the end is the outgoing one. So I'm just gonna create the link, and then I'm just gonna put it here. All right, guys, off camera, I made sure everything is linked together. Now, as you can see all the containers are lit up. That means they are full and ready to go. Now, there are two ways you can do this. You can just build yourself a little house and go in there and create an industrial workbench. Also, another thing you can do is to assign crew members. So the way you assign crew members to work on your outpost is you just go to your menu button, and then you just go to your ship. Now on your ship, then you can see you have the crew option. On your crew option, then you click whichever one. Now the ones that you want to choose is the one that have anything that deal with outposts. Like for instance, I would assign Heller to this outpost because he's got outpost engineering, and you can see the perk is highlighted in white. That means it is active. So that's how you assign a crew to your outpost. So in order for you to assign a crew, you have to make sure that you have the crew station built up. So the way you do the crew station, so just go to one of those tabs. And then this is the miscellaneous tab, and you have crew station. So you have to do a crew station. You got to use this crew station, and now one of those, and then you just put it anywhere. You can, and I put it inside this little house, but you can just put it anywhere. Then that will give you the ability to assign a crew to your operation. So that's the crew member thing. Now, as you can see, everything is linked, and then the transfer container is here. And since I landed my ship close by, then now we're going to go inside the ship and show you how this works. And then I'm also going to show you how this works inside the little house. All right, now inside your ship, somewhere towards the cockpit, there's always your cargo hold. Now, once you find your cargo hold, you just click on it and press the corresponding button. For Xbox, it is the X button. And then now you can cycle through your inventory, the ship, and also the outpost. So I'm gonna go press the left bumper. Now I'm in the inventory. That's my inventory. And then the next is gonna be the outpost, and this is why you name the outpost. And then you can see resources here, and now you can see all the resources that you can pull from the transfer container. Now it only works because the landing pad is close to the area of operation. If your ship is too far, then you may not be able to see the resources. That's the reason why it's important to create a landing pad just right inside your operation. Now, once you see all the options, then you can see down on the bottom, it says take all resources. Just press the corresponding button. In this case for us, it's going to be the right bumper button. So we got everything that is available to us. Now, everything is in our cargo. Now, the reason why I do it this way is because I have the bench work inside my ship. So I'm going to go into my bench work, and then here I can use the industrial bench work to actually craft what I need. Now, this is where the XP farm comes into play. So most people are doing the adaptive frame, so you can craft a bunch of adaptive frames so you can get XP. Now, there's a trick that people use on Xbox to make things go faster. The way you do this is just go to your settings, and then you go to the bindings. And then to the bindings, what you need to do, you need to bind your right bumper. Just click on the button, and then it's going to tell you just to assign it a button. So in this case, you're going to assign it X. You're going to use the X button. And then for your left trigger, click on the left trigger, and then you're going to assign it to the D-pad, the right side one. And then now you are set to just go and use the industrial machine. So what you're going to do now, you're going to click create craft, and then you're going to press on your left trigger while you're also clicking your A button. So if you clicking the D-pad and you're clicking the D-pad, and the left trigger together, and then it's gonna go all the way to 99, and then you click craft. You see you can get it as fast as possible. Now it's a tricky process, but it's a lot easier to do this way than doing the other way. So as long as you have a lot more aluminum and iron to create the adaptive frame, then this goes a lot faster. The more containers that you have, the more XP that you are going to have in this process. Now you're gonna have all of this adaptive frame that you probably don't know what to do with. You probably go encumbered, you don't know what to do with. So all you gotta do, just go to your resources. So go to your resource, and then what you can do, you can just drop them on the floor of the ship, and then you can just carry them that way. And then you can just go to town, whatever planet you want to go to, and then just go sell them if you want to. Or you can just leave them out there in space. Now, here's the little house that we built. So we put the crew station right there, and then we also put a bed. Now, the reason why we put the bed in there, just so we can sleep and reset all the containers and then just go pick them up. Like I said, I like to do it from the cockpit of the ship, and then just because I have my machine there. But once you do that, you sleep, you have a 10% XP buff rather than sitting. And then you can come to the industrial workbench. You do the same thing that I showed you that you did on the ship. And then you can just drop all of those frame on the floor if you want to, and then just come back and pick them up, and then just go sell them in town if that's what you decide you want to do. Anyway, guys, I think that is all you need to know about building your outpost and then get XP and make money. Hopefully this was helpful. I know it's a long video, but thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.